Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's this time of the week that we like to say,
Welcome to Eejits of the World!
With you,
Glenn Wall, and you,
Andrew Maxwell. And well, what a very special episode of Eejits of the World we have
A very special episode.
Because it's Eejits of the World. America Decides 2024. Dun 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 dun.
Serious.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, the first half of this episode is going to be dedicated to what the fuck the Yanks have been up to.
Yeah.
And if that's not your game, we also have monkeys and crows.
Yeah.
So, if you don't want to hear any more American politics, skip ahead to monkeys and crows.
Yeah. Very little chance they'll be getting involved with the outcome of the election.
Actually, at this stage, I wouldn't put anything past them. Wouldn't put anything past the Yankee Doodle Dandy men. We are recording this on the Monday. The election's on the Tuesday, and you are hearing this at the earliest possible time on the Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Feel free to listen through, because at the end of the American section, myself and Mr. Glenn will be making our American political predictions.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Oh, I didn't tell you. That's what we're doing.
I thought we were doing that now.
No. Well, you know what I mean? Keep them hanging.
Okay.
Keep them hanging along. Right, let's get into this. We've actually, on Eejits of the World, we've held back on talking about the American election quite a bit.
We've saved it.
Because, frankly, there's almost too much.
Yeah, there's a lot to go around.
There was an awful lot.
The horn of plenty has vomited.
Yes, the horn of plenty, that is American politics, has been spewing forth on a daily basis for what it feels like years. I mean, it's been a very long...
It feels like 3 series of a show.
It does.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like one series.
Yeah.
It was, this took a long time.
Well, shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it,
Let's
Mr. Glenn.
open America.
Right, where do you want to start? This insane Trump rally?
Yes. That was, well, I mean, this was going to be my prediction, but I'll do my prediction early.
All right.
I predict Kamala for the funniest reason in the world ever, because Tony Hinchcliffe had such a bad set. He ruined Trump's candidacy. It was so terrible that he I've had bad sets before, but then it's the way I talk myself down. I'm like, well, it's not the end of the world. It is the end of his world.
Yeah.
He's changed his environment. He sucked so badly
he did.
with his fucking 1982 references. Like, I'll tell you about Puerto Rico. Who's doing Puerto Rican jokes anymore? He's doing watermelon racist jokes. Like that, we've gone past that water. Yeah, nobody doesn't like watermelon. If you like melons, that is the Cadillac of the melon.
Yeah,
that's poor racism. Yeah. Everybody likes watermelon. The only thing wrong with watermelons is they should be called honeydews, and honeydews should be called watermelons. That's the only thing you can bring up.
That's not a lot, and that's not going to bring down the house in Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
You know what I like? Candle notes. So ridiculous. Yes, his reference is like you said, mate. It's like West Side Story.
How old is his writer? I got this guy smoking Camel menthol cigarettes going, yeah, go out there, soften them up with the Puerto Ricans. Yeah. And then we'll move into the watermelon material. It's like, how strong is the writers' union that we can't get rid of him? We just he's there. He writes the joke. He's the one who wrote G.I. Jane for Chris Rock.
Yeah. Any chance I get, I goose those goddamn PRs. My name's Mickey McGee, the last Irishman in Inwood. I'm looking at him across the bridge over in Washington Heights. Stay over there. This is an Irish neighborhood full of Irish comic writers in the 90s and 100s. So great.
A barista's just trying to hustle him along. Please, we're trying to gentrify the neighborhood, Mickey. Shut up!
Shut up! I'm running a numbers record here.
What are you, a Polak? Are you a Polak? You look like a Polak.
It was so odd. It's such an odd.
Yeah, well,
it's just like he's like, what a weird booking. He's an insult comedian. Afterwards, Trump was like, I didn't know who he was. Right? He didn't get up and improvise it. It was on the actual teleprompter. You know, but it was like, it's like, it would be like, you know, at those sort of Washington correspondence dinners way back in the day in the 80s, you know, Don Rickles got up there, but like,
yeah,
you know, but Ronald Reagan wasn't getting Don Rickles to open for him. Right? On the... So odd, so weird.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing too. Don Rickles is an amazing comedian.
Yeah,
you cannot, you may like what he says or don't like what he says, but Don Rickles, he's got the chops.
I think he had the chop. I think he's gone to the.
Okay.
I think he's gone to the Friars Club in the sky.
Like Tony Hinchcliffe is not Don Rickles. You don't.
No.
You don't, and like. So he goes up at Madison Square Garden, has a set so bad that he ruins the presidency. Like, what are this guy's stress dreams like?
Yeah.
Does he have them to calm down? Oh, thank God, I was losing teeth there. I was getting a nice calming stress dream because I wasn't a fucking...
Well, also the irony for those, I'm sure many people over this side of the world had never even heard of Tony Hinchcliffe. Well, actually, anybody over 40,
yeah,
definitely, maybe over 30,
yeah,
because he's huge online, and he's huge online. His podcast is called Kill Tony, and for those who don't, he basically hosts an open spot night, where then at the table, him and two other professional comics then roast these poor open spots, and it's basically he's become the ultimate open spot. He's the Jesus of open spots. He has died so that America may live.
It's going to be an ironically named podcast when the Trumper realizes what he's done.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen right on his show. Okay, so what, you're going to come up and do 5? It ain't going to take 5 minutes, Tony.
Yeah. From now on, to Kill Tony, every one of those open spots is going to have to walk through a metal arch, man, from now on. Yeah. Don't park your car anywhere in clear sight line of a motel.
Tony. That's the name of it.
It's just Tony now. Let Tony live.
Yeah. Well, my
he was
thing,
odious, though.
Yeah, but we never got to see this. I'm trying to look at the bright side, and we never got to see who he pointed to in the front row. There's a black guy in the front row. Me and him would be carving watermelons together later. And you know what? But we never, we never got to see it. And maybe he saw a man that he did that with, and he was remembering, like when it was like they was like Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze, Unchained Melody was playing in the background, and he actually
just the two of them, just
yeah.
Just kept carving a peace sign into that watermelon.
That's right. That's right. Nice. They couldn't find a turnip.
Seems very unlikely, though.
I mean, that's a callback to last week's show.
Yeah, to the Halloween special. The fact he was so odious up there that even Trump's fans were like, "Oh, it was extraordinary sound." Like You know, because that Madison Square Garden would have been rammed to the gills with dickheads from Staten Island and Long Island, right?
Yeah.
And these people were like, ooh. These were Long Island Sounders fans. Or whatever they got. Long Island. The Islanders?
The Islanders.
The Islanders.
The Islanders.
Do you know what I mean? These weren't pearl-clutching liberal bedwetters.
No
these were
way.
These were pickup truck drivers from the outer suburbs of New York. Wow.
Have you ever seen that clip of Pearl Jam bombing in Long Island?
No.
Oh, Eddie Vedder played it wrong that night.
Oh boy, he picked the wrong crowd.
He did. He was doing some anti-George Bush stuff.
Whoa.
I believe he has a George Bush mask on in the middle of it. And I guess he'd been doing it all across America.
Yeah.
Been killing with it in San Francisco.
One uni campus after another.
Yeah. And then it's just like it's really hard to die at a Pearl Jam concert if you're Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to have a bad set.
Yeah. At your own fan base.
Yeah, these guys were more fans of the first album, and
They were more into just the loudness of it.
yeah,
Not actually listening to what Eddie Vedder's droning on about.
behind the mask. Anyway,
Oh,
so
man.
that's my prediction.
Well-
Kamala takes it because Tony
Because of
Hinchcliffe
Tony Hinchcliffe.
and his terrible writer from the 80s.
Man alive. Yeah, I mean, obviously we have to, in our election special, we have to be slightly balanced here. I mean, let's not forget, this is also the week where Joe Biden, the sitting president of the United States, and let's not forget, until I think near the end of January, is still the man with the big red button, the man that could destroy the world. Old Joe, 81-year-old Joe Biden, on Halloween, was biting babies. It's just very...
And you know he wanted to too. Like he really wanted to because he was fast enough to do it. Like I think he's got handlers now who stop him from doing things
to adults.
Yeah. Like, oh no, he'll pick that ceremonial gavel and put it in his mouth. He's sort of like a toddler now. But he saw a baby and he was like,
Oh, so this is an incredible story. So it's one of those White House White House traditions.
Yeah.
Where on the Rose Garden, the sitting president and his other half, there's all these babies will be dressed up in Halloween costumes, and you know it's literally a political baby kissing contest, right? But it was one of the babies was dressed up as a chicken, and Joe just thought it was a chicken, like. So he playfully, he didn't sink his fangs in, but he did bite a baby on camera dressed as a chicken.
Maybe he's just acting like people who know that they're getting fired, and it's not like it's the reason they put people on gardening leave to stop them from showing up drunk to the office every day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can run out the rest of your contract at home, dude.
Yeah. Big Joe's driving the limo in himself. He's got all his staff drunk in the back. It's cool, guys. It's cool, man. I got the keys. They can't keep me out. I'm the dude.
He's got sunglasses on. I'm on the roof of the White House with a sniper gun. But it turns out here's Joe. He's just biting babies by the leg. His sunglasses on at night. What was amazing about it was in the article I thought, well, that is crazy. Just spontaneously, the sitting president of the United States, granted, like, it was all in jest. The parents of the chicken baby, they had no problems with it, all the rest of it. But I looked into the article. It turns out it wasn't a one-off. There was loads of babies and he bit them all. It was just the one.
And they've only used the one that the parents had no problem with it.
No, I think it was the only one that was like edible. It was a chicken, right?
Or the only one that he missed. Like, he probably just got all costume felt. But everybody else who found Biden prints on their baby's legs were like, we have to talk to. I don't care who he thinks he is. I could smell rum. I could smell rum on his breath, and then he bit my child.
Not from Joe. No, I'm sorry. You have to take that back. Joe is been sober for pretty much his entire life. All that stupidity is the act of a sober man. Maybe being a sitting president, like, he has to sink his teeth into somebody so that there's, if there's a terrible fire in the White House, at least they can find his dental prints. I don't know. It's just so mental. But yeah, there was an array of babies.
Maybe that's just how he carries young people. He thought there was danger.
You're gonna take your kid out of this scruff. Take him back to Stacey. Down by the Potomac.
Hello. And then his wife's dressed like a panda the whole time too. He's already a bit. He's a bit confused. I like him. I think Biden will go down in history as one of the best presidents. He steadied the ship. He's a politician. He should have been there.
He got an enormous amount of legislation across the line.
He sure did.
Which is
but now you're presenting him with babies dressed like chickens and his wife's like a panda. I mean, why don't you let him drink at that point? It's going to make more sense to him.
Once again, he's still the president for another 3 months. I can't keep emphasising it. 3 months left to go and he's biting babies. Playfully biting them, nipping them.
Well, that's how it starts.
Yeah, that's.
I wouldn't present him with any more babies around 2 weeks out. Just like Ozzy Osbourne.
Just gentle nipping, like the way a sheepdog makes, keeps the herd moving.
Just training them. Old Joe, train your baby up for you. Is that a crying baby? I'll fix it. Yep, hand him to Joe.
It's on the arm of your baby. You need to bite your baby. Sorry, Joe.
That's how old he is. He's back from a time where if the baby was out of line, you give it a little nip.
I think in hindsight, Joe is definitely of the era when you gave your baby whiskey to make it sleep. If you were an Irish American baby from 80 years ago, right, they were definitely giving you whiskey on a rag.
That's why he has to bite them, because he doesn't drink. I'm sorry, I don't have any whiskey in the house. I'll just have to chew on its toe.
So which one of these babies is full of cough medicine? Oh, man alive. So much madness.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And it's just, this is a country that is, what is it, 4% of the world's population, 25% of the world's economy, the world's only blue water navy. Wow. Because, one of the two last people standing is Donald Trump.
Here he is.
There he is.
Yeah.
And Joe, in one of his final send-offs, because the Democrats, they have tried to keep him out of the fray.
Yeah.
But mostly because he turned around, because obviously Tony Hinchcliffe, he turns around in Madison Square Garden and very famously called Puerto Rico an island of garbage.
Trash, yeah.
Yeah, garbage.
Basically trash.
Yeah, island of garbage. And Joe, that's right. I think if the garbage is Donald Trump, and all Donald Trump's supporters are garbage. And obviously, this is sort of, leading up to, if you maybe you remember, maybe we don't, leading up to the 2016 election, which Trump won against Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton referred to all of Trump's far-right supporters as a basket of deplorables.
Yeah.
And Trump's campaign managed to turn that around as a positive look. It's the snooty elite talking down to the regular Joe Soaps of America and calling us deplorables, and they all started wearing weird deplorables. I'm proud to be deplorable. Yeah. This time round,
I don't think they knew what the word meant.
I'm not necessarily sure neither. Is a deplorable somebody who has almost 100 points on their Walmart card? Yep. Right here, buddy. So they've now tried to do that. They try to, this week, it's just been such a mental last week of the election. So Trump, we're garbage. You can call us garbage. So Trump decides to jump on that and hires a garbage truck.
Yeah.
And then decides to show that he's a real dude by climbing into a garbage truck, and that he's a really vital man, unlike Joe Biden, and tries to open the door and completely misses it. Again, a man who's been teetotal his entire life.
Yeah, it made me think.
He looked like he was shit-faced trying to steal a garbage truck. Right?
It looked to me like there might have been a truck that you had to crawl into at the recruitment center when he was getting out of his Vietnam service. I tried to sign up for the military, but it's 2-3 sweeps at trying to get into that truck, and I guess they assumed something about my character.
So it's exactly, finally people get to see what bone spurs are. It means you can't open a truck at the first time of asking. It's so crazy. And now his fans, his supporters, are showing up in the final dying days of the American election dressed as in bin bags as garbage.
Again, those two might not be connected. Like with the diapers, it's not proven that they know anything beyond it.
So in this election cycle, we've had the leader of one of the two grand parties of American politics, his fan base showing up at rallies dressed in diapers, nappies to us, wearing tampons on their ears, and now dressing in garbage bags.
The diaper guys might have just taken their pants off. They might not have showed up wearing they showed up wearing diapers, but it wasn't like...
Maybe Donald's not the only crazy old Adderall addict at his stadium rallies.
Yeah, no, I think those full stadiums have shown that just how much a problem of Adderall there is in America. It's not. He's not an outlier. Oh, he is, but
he's
depends how you're spelling. It depends how you're spelling outlier.
Do you know who I blame for all this?
Who do you blame?
Showing up in their costumes. Do you know who I blame? The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's right.
That's where that was the slide in Western society.
Yeah.
You know? Do they have that where you're from in Canada? They have that. An old-timey crappy cinema that would once a month show the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and everybody show up in fancy dress and sing along.
But that was because for many decades there was only one movie for gay people. So they had to really learn it.
I'm sorry, I think you find musicals.
That's true.
Sorry, Hollywood just didn't make movies for gay people.
They were not. It was all sort of suggested, but it wasn't like that was the only one where it was like, okay, well, there's no dancing around this. That gentleman's a homosexual.
And by that one, I mean that one and that one.
And that one over there.
I'm not sure Frankenfurter is entirely straight either. But it has that vibe to it. It's sort of,
yeah.
Is it, do they mean it? I have to say, of the two, you know, if you were going to go a Kamala Harris rally, no matter how many kind of, you know, oh wow, she got Beyonce. You know, a Kamala Harris rally or a Donald Trump rally, which one you'd like to do some mushrooms and wander into?
Well, first of all, I'm an uneducated white male, so I have to fight the urge to go to Donald Trump rallies. It's like a salmon being called home. I know I'm not supposed to go there, but nature says otherwise.
Yes, as two 50-year-old white straight men with no university educations. Come up here. Come to the lake at the top of the mountain. Glenn, ain't you? Come up here and spawn. Spawn your middle-aged spawn.
Yeah. Secrete yourself into the dirt.
That should have been Trump's slogan. Make America great again. Secrete yourself into the dirt.
But did you see what his new slogan is, which just shows me that he doesn't know anybody from Britain? It's Trump'll fix it.
What? Wow.
Yeah, Donald, we're trying to separate ourselves from these sex pest allegations. I got a new slogan. It's gonna
be telling you, Michelle. I'm gonna have a big chair. I'm gonna smoke cigars. I'm gonna make underage people's dreams come true. And I'm gonna give them a medal.
My twist is I fire them at the end of it.
You couldn't keep your mouth shut. You're fired. Oh,
garbage. Get out.
Garbage. No garbage. Come in. You're recycled. Get out. Well.
Yeah.
The thing about Trump is, it's sort of everything that comes into contact with him gets shitter and weirder.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Tucker Carlson was originally actually started off on MSNBC.
Did he?
Yeah, and then he went to CNN, and then he went to Fox.
Yeah.
And then he was too nutty for Fox. I can't even remember what the thing got him kicked off Fox, but I mean, whatever it was, it must have been pretty extreme to get kicked off Fox. And and now, because he's one of the keynote speakers at Trump rallies. I watched this morning, he was being interviewed by somebody. Tucker Carlson, like, he's one of the most famous media voices in America.
Yeah, he's got a huge following.
Huge following, right? And he's genuinely talking about how he'd been clawed by demons. So he's been interviewed by this other dude, who I think is an evangelical pastor or something like that. And they're talking about how he had Tucker Carlson saying about
did this demon attack him at a strip club?
and this is genuine. He's saying, he goes, I've had an experience with demons while I was sleeping. And I had a terrible nightmare. I woke up and I had claw marks all over me. I was clawed all the way down my side, on both sides. And I sleep on my side, so I know it wasn't me. And I keep my nails short. And there were claw marks all over me. And I was like, it could have only been demons. And the guy was like, really? Like, the both of them are, the guy's in kind of country wear, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's in a body warmer and a trucker cap. Right. Really? And you sensed that it was evil? Yeah, there was claw marks and all over my body, and I'm topless, and I could see there's all these claw marks, and I was like, it could have only been demons. I was just me in bed with my sleeping wife and our 4 dogs. Look at that going. So you've set aside the possibility it would have been any of the 4 clawed animals that were also in your bed sleeping with you, which possessed in total 16 sets of claws. None of the 17 sets of perfectly Christian dog claws could have done it.
And something happened in the night to upset one of them. You don't claw the hand that feeds you unless that hand starts doing something else.
Trying to take up some room in it. But he's just like... And the other guy going, right, could have been one of those dogs. The dogs were, both these men utterly discounted that it could have possibly been a dog. Could have only been a vengeful demon. And he goes, Tucker Carlson goes, I've never heard of anything like this, and I don't really come from that kind of background. But look, my sister's an evangelical, and I rang her and goes, so I told her what happened. And she went, yep, that's a demon. So it just shows you there's like, both of them are dipshits. Like, no.
I'd like to hear the demon side of the story. I think it'll probably be like, look, I was just having a few drinks in the bar, and this guy was just all over me. I telling me, loosen up. He's trying to get me drunk.
I'm like, back off, buddy. I'm off duty. But he keeps coming at me, asking me, have I illy voted? And I'm like, get off me, Tucker, get back.
was just supposed to be a ride home. I'd had a few cocktails. He said he didn't mind. It was on his way. And then I was like, this isn't my... Tucker, where are we going?
This isn't the hellhole I came from. This is a well-to-do but conservative suburb. Once we drove past the country club, I knew I was in trouble.
I'm generally not allowed to go into anybody in these places because I make them better than they were. It's really obvious they have a demon inside them because they actually lighten up a bit. So I can't haunt anybody in these communities.
I can't terrorize anybody who has never paid tax.
It's just been like so much American
or
madness.
a demon went into Tucker Carlson, not realizing who he and then oh my God, I'm in Tucker Carlson. Scratched his way out.
The scratch marks from the inside.
Yeah, those calls are coming from inside the house, Tucker.
Inside the thorax.
Get me out of there.
Yeah, he's trying to get an exorcist in just to get him out of Tucker Carlson.
Hello, I'm stuck in Tucker Carlson. Can you send a priest, please? Get me Father Fitzpatrick.
He's good. He's good.
He's old, but he knows his business. Holy water, any water, just get me out of Carlson.
Oh God! Oh my Lord! Yeah. And as if all of that wasn't mental enough.
Yeah.
As we speak, recording this on the Monday on the eve of the American election, that holds the fate of the free world in its hands. In the final 48 hours, it hasn't come down to the economy. It hasn't come down to social justice. It hasn't come down to the environment. It hasn't come down to foreign affairs. It's come down to the fate of a squirrel.
Peanut.
Peanut.
Peanut the Squirrel.
Peanut the Squirrel. I have to say, until this week, I didn't know about Peanut the Squirrel. No. But I asked my dear sweet wife whether she'd heard of Peanut the Squirrel, and apparently she'd been following Peanut the Squirrel and the squirrel's hunky owner on Instagram for the last year.
She made more mention of the owner than Peanut. Peanut seemed to be a ride-along.
So for those of you who don't know, Peanut the Squirrel is a celebrity squirrel. I can't believe this is an American election. Peanut had 500,000 followers on Instagram, and for the last 7 years had been living with a man called, that my wife likes, called Mark Longo. Real name, Mark Longo.
Ouch.
I don't care, as long as his name's not Steve Gertho.
That's what they really like.
Ryan Ribbed for your pleasure.
It's Dutch.
It's a Dutch name. We're not pronouncing it right. We've been in Iowa for 5 generations. Oh, for fuck's sake, fucking America. So what happens is Peanut the Squirrel, God, it's like a kid story. Peanut the Squirrel and his best friend,
Fred the Raccoon.
Had been living a blameless life of social media influencers. I don't know who they were influencing.
Yeah. Looking a lot happier online than they were in real life, I imagine. Yeah. But, you know, what was being pumped out into the eye of Sauron, everybody enjoyed. Little squirrels and hats that, you know, I don't think he always wears that hat.
I don't think he really buries his own nuts anymore. Yeah. He's got an assistant. Just 22-year-old guy called Dylan. He's a graduate of Columbia. Now he has to bury a celebrity squirrel's nuts for him.
Yeah.
It's a good job. He has to make Longo coffee and hide nuts for her. Anyway, so how is this connected to the American election? Well, you see, my friends, the really fraught political philosophical divide between the right and left in America is the role of the state and how much power it should have over the individual citizen.
None.
Well, certainly, that's...
It sounds Canadian to me.
Sounds like Canada to me. It sounds like the fucking mouth farts of Ontario. It sounds like it's shit an Ottawa asshole would say. Anyway, so what happens is some rat online.
Well used on Fink. Well used.
Thanks, dude. Some fink rats out our squirrel chum, our celebrity squirrel chum.
Yeah. Everyone's wife's favorite.
The lady's favorite squirrel. What was the squirrel called again?
Peanut.
Peanut, yes. Rats out Peanut and his
Penis the squirrel.
Penis the squirrel. You want to see him hide his nuts? You got to go through the curtain and pay your buck.
It's just this guy with his dick in a squirrel costume.
Did Mark Longo put you up to this?
You hide this in your cheeks.
This'll keep you warm for the winter. Anyway, so this is Fink rats him out.
Yeah.
Apparently, this was all happening. It was upstate New York, and in New York state law, you've got to get a license. You got to keep, you got to have a license to keep wild.
Squirrel license?
Well, it's the squirrel.
You got to get down to the DMV and take your test.
You got to make sure that tail's bushy. Is this squirrel a member of the union or not? Not hiders, local 48.
Yeah.
Anyway, right up there, apparently it's right up on the Pennsylvania border where this all happened. Anyway, it didn't have this squirrel had been raised by Mark Longo and Fred the raccoon had also been raised, and so they were completely domesticated.
And some generous donations from your wife.
God damn it! That's where the mortgage money went. Anyway, so rats him out. This is how the Republicans in the last days are trying to swing the election. Is called the big leaden hand of big government, aka the Democrats, have stepped in there, and they confiscated the two animals.
And what did Peanut do?
Peanut fought back like a true American hero.
Like a goddamn bury my heart at Wounded Knee, like Leonard Peltier before.
He was like a peanut minute man. You can take my hazelnut from my cold dead hands. Because Peanut fought back.
Yeah,
it was like a small frisky mammal version of Waco. Because what happened was Peanut bit the animal license inspector.
We all bit the animal license inspector. Peanut just was the conduit. We were the demon inside Peanut. Us, the people. We bit your hand. American government.
We, the Peanut.
Well done.
The opening line of the American Constitution. Well, the original one when we only had 4 people here. There's only 4 of us in Jamestown. We, the Peanut. Which was super weird because the Indians hadn't introduced us to peanuts at that stage.
We weren't that good of friends with them yet.
We kept sneezing, they kept hugging. That's how it shook
Now
out.
we own the place.
Sure wasn't common sense that won this continent. Anyway.
So they take out Peanut. They get a guy on the roof. Hey, have you got a shot? Take the shot. Take the shot.
Take Nutcracker. Nutcracker is a principal. Nutcracker is a go. Yeah, they put them down.
And Fred the Raccoon.
Both of them.
Just for being associate of Peanut? Are they trying to take the whole crime family down?
They got him on RICO laws. got him on a RICO charge.
Fred was just checking his watch. This one's wearing a mask.
It can't really be an animal. Look at his little human hands.
Yeah. His fingerprints are all over this.
Tiny little fingerprints. So yeah, sadly, we're not laughing at the. Please believe me, we're not laughing at the untimely demise of our two mammal chums,
Fred and Peanut.
Fred and Peanut. Rest in peace, y'all. No.
There'll be murals of them.
They're sure.
I'm going to paint murals of them on my house.
I'm gonna drain out a bit of liquor for those fellas.
Yeah.
But it is now. It's that the Trump campaign has decided that in the. And only you, as our future chums listening to this on Wednesday at the earliest, know whether this has worked. But this is genuinely what the Republican Party thinks they can finally swing. It sure isn't Donald Trump's idea for the economy.
Well, they'd have my vote if I could vote.
For Peanut.
Yeah, I think that let's write in Peanut. Peanut the Squirrel.
Peanut the Squirrel.
Come on, America. We might have to release this early. This is a really good idea. I can't see it not working.
I can't see how a recently murdered squirrel can't be the president of the United States.
Can't see it doing a worse job.
Oh my God. Good God.
It just seemed to be what the people wanted.
But that's it. So that's the final. God, what a long election.
Yeah.
That it's all come down to, way back in the day. Remember Michael Dukakis lost to, I think, George Bush Sr.? But that was over an early released murderer.
Yes.
Yeah. And could the American election actually be tipped by the untimely intervention?
It can, and you know what my biggest problem is? There will be a time in 20 years when we look back at this with rose-colored glasses. Where the watermelon seed spitting contest. This is what swung the election. I don't want nobody who can't gobble seed over 10 meters. I don't want them. I don't know what a meter is, but I don't want somebody. Why we're measuring it like that in the first place?
I think it's the length of a dead Frenchman. The only reason we let him over the border. Come on in, Frenchie.
Gotta know how long the seed went.
Sit down, Marcel. It's election time. I'm actually Canadian. Shut up. Shut up.
It's worse.
Shut up.
You only count for half a meter then.
Three things I don't like. Canadians and Frenchmen. Something else. Which you probably are. It's only the thin end of the wedge being a Canadian.
Yeah.
Anyway, in conclusion, I think God, despite all this absolute shit show of the American election, all of it, the baby nibbling, the celebrity squirrels,
The terrible stand-up comedy.
terrible stand-up comedy, and do you know what? In all of this, we've barely mentioned Trump, and that's been deliberate because I hate giving him attention.
Yeah.
I think the Democrats are going to vote Democrat, the Republicans are going to vote Republican, but that big fat juicy middle bit, which is about a third of American voters, known as the independents,
The belly of America.
the soft, won't tell a poster which way they're fucking voting belly of America. When they get in there, I think I still believe in you, America. I still think Oh, God. This is such a hostage of fortune to say this. I think Kamala's going to do it. I think she will. I think so. And I want her to. Not necessarily because I think will be a good president, but mostly I want her because she's not Trump. And even more importantly, it's such a serious job that if Kamala wins the White House, we'll never have to listen to that fucker laugh again.
No. It's not a funny job. Yeah, you'll have a few reports.
Just show her the map of the Middle East quickly. Yeah. Show her that pinch point in the Red Sea where all the world trade goes through. Stop laughing, Kamala.
Wipe the smile out of your face. Maybe that's why the Democrats didn't have primaries. They're like, well, this is one way to get her to stop laughing. Goddamn hyena.
Oh, well. Well, America, there you go.
Well, if you can't be smart, be entertaining, and you've done that.
Sure as shit have. We wish you, America, all the very best. Moving forward with whatever the F happens now.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Yeah. Now then, we did promise our non-politically interested friends some non-political stories. So we now move to the world of animal science.
Yes.
Would you like a story about animal science, Mr. Glenn?
Okay, sure.
Well, I bring you the world of monkey science, Mr. Glenn.
Uh-oh.
You may have heard
monkeys can do that?
Well, it turns out no.
Oh, okay.
Well, they might be able to do science, but what it turns out they can't do is world-class literature.
Oh, no.
Have you heard of...
I just bought a book written by monkeys. You telling me I have to get rid of that?
You don't have to get rid of it, but you're going to look weird reading it on the beach. I hate to tell you, but after page 1, it's mostly smears.
Oh, I wondered why it stank.
So, you may have heard the infinite monkey theorem. Mm-hmm. This is the thought... What do you call it? A thought... I forgot. Now I've forgotten how to think. Just it basically is sort of
a whole bunch of monkeys.
Right. So basically, the idea of the infinite monkey theorem is to suggest that if you had an infinite number of monkeys and an infinite amount of time, that the monkeys, if you let them loose on laptops, they would eventually write the completed works of William Shakespeare.
Right.
Right.
I think that's highly unlikely. Well, they didn't even write Last Train to Clarksville.
Now that is a Neil Diamond of a gag.
Oh, thank you. Neil Diamond wrote, and they said that there were just extra songs that he had. Like he didn't write them for the show, but I'm like, did he really have "Hey Hey We're the Monkeys"? Did he play that in the sound check? Like, I can't find a place for this song.
Hey, hey, we're the monkeys. I gotta say it's weird for me.
We're too busy singing to put anybody down. I'm the Jewish Elvis.
Surely was.
He was. That's what they call him.
Really, amongst many other things. More than complimentary. Now then, so that has always been the thought experiment.
Right.
Right? That the infinite
Not
monkey,
a suggestion.
No. Infinite monkey. There's a real misadventure in the world of resources. What do you do with all those computers? Well, what does it smell like we're doing with these computers? Anyway, it turns out scientists got involved, and it turns out it's bullshit, and they've worked out why. Do you know why?
No.
Because monkeys are shitheads. They're stupid. Monkeys, you could have an infinite amount of monkeys for an infinite amount of time, and these fucks wouldn't even write Marlowe. They're dumb.
Oh, right.
They're just stupid.
Right.
Right. Now, what they actually did, they did the calculations. 2 scientists from Australia, these are scientists, mathematicians no less, from Sydney.
Well, I think I know why it didn't work.
All right, we stopped at lunchtime and began again the next day. Right.
And then we got tired and we watched the footy.
Did a bit of gambling on the pokies?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
You know, when you're a mathematician, you can game the machine, make a couple of bucks, drink a couple of pisses. Anyway,
we caught some fish.
So two mathematicians from Sydney have debunked.
Surprised there was 2.
To be honest, why would you stay in school when you've got 100 pages and some
Exactly.
of the... Yeah, I mean, goddamn.
All you do, man. It's just handing in calculators for their final. Just do it yourself. All right, I don't care.
Mate, I'm going to Tamarama. Have you seen the chicks on Tamarama? You've all got A's, boys. I'm going to Randwick, going to win a bit of money on the horses, and then I'm going to Kaji and get pissed all afternoon.
Weather's too good to be as smart as a calculator. Fuck it.
Fuck, come on. Anyway, these 2 mathematicians, Mr. Glenn, are called mathematicians called Stephen Woodcock and Jay Filletta.
Well, now we know why he's not interested in women. That's why he's not got a lot of time for math. Man was born with a wooden cock.
He's Australia's answer to Pinocchio. When he doesn't...
Geppetto's still in jail.
Yeah. His wooden cock starts to expand when he doesn't know the results of the footy. Did you see the game? Yeah, I did. No, you didn't, you lying wooden cock little bastard. I knew you didn't like the footy. Anyway, mathematician Stephen Woodcock and Jay Filletta, which is obviously Italian for when you give a lady a blowjob. We're terrible. But they worked out that
Filletta and Woodcock.
Yeah, those are their names. These are real people who stayed in school way longer than me and Mr. Glenn did.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so how they calculated, right?
Yeah.
Is there's 200,000 chimps in the world.
Okay.
Right? So you got all those chimps have a computer, right? And they're all noodling away. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right? They calculate, but and you got all the work of William Shakespeare, not only his plays, but also his sonnets.
Okay.
Right. And couple of series of Alf that he wrote. all that work he did in 1980 sitcoms. Right?
Yeah. I mean, when the Suits got involved, the original scripts are really good. A couple of LA Suits got coked up, going, "No, we're gonna change it all." He likes pussy. We'll just say he eats cat, but he really likes pussy.
The Merchant of Venice is now an alien. Anyway. So they calculated by the time it would take these 200,000 chimps on Earth to actually write William Shakespeare, the universe would have ended by then. In what is known as the astrophysicists call the end of the universe the Great Heat Death, where just all the heat ends in the universe and everything ends.
Why is the universe married to another universe? This sounds like the end of universe.
Yeah.
Marriage.
Got really cold. Cold. Very, very cold. And silent.
Yeah. Oh, man, you ever hear a butter dish put down at the end of a marriage?
echoing across the universe. A dishwasher being angrily unpacked.
And repacked.
And repacked. With the same things. Only done properly this time. Anyway, what they did though, and an up note to leave the story, Mr. Glenn.
Right.
On an up note, they did think there was a 5% chance that if we gave the 200,000 chimps on planet Earth all of the rest of time in our universe, they might be able to write the word. They had a 5% chance of writing the word bananas. That's all right, isn't it?
Well, I mean, this is it though. Like, how much are we going to hold them to, like, spelling errors and stuff? Like, no, we said the complete works of Shakespeare.
Yes.
And
he actually,
there's 2 G's in dagger.
Yeah. So
No, it's all incorrect.
You wrote to be as in Buzzy Bee, to not to Buzzy Bee.
That's not the usage, is it?
That's not really what it means.
Yeah. So keep trying though. I mean, maybe next time.
That's not how you spell Yorick.
No.
Anyway, well, anyway, good luck to you, monkeys. You're literary pygmies. You're fucking idiots. But we love you. We still love you, monkeys.
Why don't you write your own stuff? Why are we trying to? I want monkeys to write something better than Shakespeare. And I believe they can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I bet something a monkey would write wouldn't bore mid-teens.
No, it'd be about jacking off. I want to tell you that much. If I know monkeys like I think I do, that book's going to be about a lot of jacking off.
Which I suspect every 15-year-old boy in the world would like to sit that exam.
And that's what we replaced Shakespeare festivals all over the world with. The Monkey's Big Book of Jacking Off.
Right there. Right there in Hyde Park in high summer. Right.
We've got the one last remaining monkey, Mickey Dolenz, here for the Monkey Jacking Off Festival. Now, of course, he can't do it. The man's 89. Would be here all day.
It's more
Give a big hand. That's what we like to call it in the Jacking Off the community.
It's now tastefully known as the Hey Hey Festival. Oh, fuck.
We had fun.
Anyway, tell me, do you have an animal science story to wrap this weird ass episode up with?
Yeah, this double episode. Do you know crows? Do you know any crows?
Well, sure.
Yeah, well, be nice to them. Because crows can carry a grudge for up to 17 years. And a multi-generational grudge. They can tell their other little crows about you. And those crows can go, yeah, that guy's a dick.
Are you telling me crows are from Belfast?
Yes.
All up there, just sitting unaware. My fucking dad on his deathbed told me all about you.
It would explain the accent.
You know what? You're like a worm to me. Every crow is basically just Van Morrison for the last 20 years. No, I'm not singing Bernade Girl. It's on YouTube. Listen to it on YouTube. Hey, personally, you've got nothing wrong with you. But when I growing up, you know, at the clubhouse, I was all out about you. It's on your asshole. Come on. Come on. What about you? What about you? What about you? What about you?
I enjoyed that. That's Van Morrison Crow by Andrew Maxwell. It's going to open up the Hey Hey Festival.
Listen to
got a whole astral weeks, not just one or two tunes. There's a whole album. Ark!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. See, and like, I always knew this about crows, but I'm crow sensitive because I'm from Vancouver, and there's a lot of crows there, and the crows in Vancouver have been attacking people so much so that there's an app now called Crow Attack, and you
can order a crow attack. What are you doing?
yeah, you swipe left.
Just show up in a moped.
I like this one. Yeah, I think I could be attacked by this. I think I like him enough. Okay, we'll go for a little pecking.
Yeah. What is it?
No, it's just to warn you about the areas that the crows are dicks, because crows can be really, really.
Oh yeah.
I had a friend who kicked a dead crow once.
Ooh, bad.
That
move.
was just on the street, like, and it was dead. But he was like, a skateboarder. He's like, boot. That guy was plagued, man. He was haunted by crows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they remember that shit.
Yeah. Well, I remember that shit. I'm gonna haunt him.
Yeah.
Kicking a dead crow. What kind of man are you?
Yeah. Well, you don't know that until you find out, and then you can't undo it. Like, there's nothing you can do because you can't shoot crows in Canada, which is ironic because that's where the Brandon Lee movie was made.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Ooh.
I don't even know if that's particularly true. I'm not going to Google it.
No, don't Google that. The crows will know. Man alive.
Yeah. Are they getting smarter too? Like, it sounds, because they apparently can use tools. They can remember stuff. They can communicate on low levels. Because that's going to be the other problem.
Jesus Christ. It sounds like crows could easily be a better presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Use tools, remember things, communicate. America hasn't seen one of them in years.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our wrap-up of American politics. Plus, we need to balance out the seriousness, the incredible seriousness to which Americans take their political system, along with monkeys and crows. Monkeys and crows. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is. We wish you all the very best, Americans.
And there was a squirrel in the other story.
That's right. There's a lot of animals and Americans.
Yeah.
We wish you all the very best, and hopefully, for the love of God, you make the right decision. Whatever that is, that's up to you. That's your country, not mine. We will see you next week. We're on all the social medias.
Yeah, follow us.
Follow
send us
us.
messages. We'll respond.
Yeah, we're on all social medias. All the episodes go out audio on Wednesdays and video on YouTube on Saturdays. We're on your TikToks. We're on your Instagrams, your Facebooks, we're a lot. We're all over it. We're all over it. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Glenn. It has been
Andrew.
It has been a Pod People production.
Pod People production.
People production.